And the question's to Robert. So the question really is about, we have an audience here and many other people who collect your pottery, and there's a lot of pressures on potters just to make a living, and that's certainly what people will do, but you're concerned about the changes in traditional pottery. I'm wondering if you could address the people in the audience in terms of how they can help, if there's something they can do to help, besides getting you the cottonwood bark.
It is really kind of hard to continuing traditional pottery. Every potter now gives credit to their grandmothers, but what we see on pottery today is a lot different from yesterday's grandma's work. And I feel that if using the clay surrounding areas of the Pueblo, the public should know how a pot is processed or how pottery is processed. And like I said, that I am not stingy to tell or show how I create my pottery. And the only thing is, like everybody's been saying, honesty as to how you create your pottery or what materials you use. And so I feel great that I still do go to the locations of the clay sources and all. And if only the public will know the difference of the materials that are being used, and so please ask questions among the artists as to how it was created or what they used or what they went about or what their thoughts on in creating their pieces. I do too get ideas from people's clothing or other images here and there, but when I sit down to paint, it totally disappears because I just let whatever the clay lady wants to look like. I do at times, will wake up with a pattern in my mind, and when I start, a total different thing will show up. But I try to stay within the San Domingo patterns. And as a matter of fact, most of the patterns or symbols are all used in other pueblos pottery, because back then we were not the tribes, we were the people, the Han, the togetherness. So we all shared the patterns, and I feel that each pueblo has their own patterns, but it's still shared among the other potters. If you can have real good looks at pottery, there's a lot of mishaps or a lot of places that aren't really filled in right. If it's plant juices, that will always happen. But if the paints are already black before it's fired, then then you can do a lot of correction. I'm only talking about San Domingo and Coach Street pottery because we're the only ones, I think, that have the white slip, the so-called Coach Street white slip. And but early years, some of the northern pueblos, the early wares, the Nambe powder pottery, the Totanka or Tohano or whatever they call it up north, those wares, they did have some of that white slip that used to turn the plant juices black. But if the potters can look more, they'll find it. Now mica, you can really fire either black or all the smudges. That's what gives it the character. But in polychrome, you have to be careful with the heat. And that's where the barks come in, it gives it extra heat.
Everybody heard the question about the supply of materials and whether it's diminishing. So all three of you should answer that one.
Okay, for Santo Domingo, the only thing that we're really lacking is the actual white slip, or what we call the magical white. It only comes from one, well, at least it only come from one location, which will be in the, well, it used to be San Domingo land, but it's now controlled by people that moved into our lands many years ago when President Lincoln had that, what do you call it, where people move in? Homestead, the homesteaders. People from Sicily moved into our land, and so they used to see some of our Pueblo people digging out this white clay. So they wanted to help the people not doing too much work, and also they brought their backhoe and dug it out for us. And at the time, I was not in need of that white slip because I was still doing stoneware. But when I did come around to using the white slip, I used to buy from them, and they used to sell it to the Pueblo people and also to Costa people. And so later years, I had a chance to trade with them. I traded a whole barrel, and that barrel would last me a whole lifetime. And because the white slip is used very watery over pots. And as I learned from grandmother that the white doesn't show up till maybe about the 5th or 6th time. And by mid-afternoon, your pots will start to turn white, and that's about the 20th coat or more than 20 coats. And so we are sort of out of that white slip because, like I said, the Barrigues people dug it out and wanted to help the people. And now we don't really have that vein down there anymore. I still go back to that place, which because they have created this hill, and I will, the family members and I will all lay around and brush this hill down, and we will. It will be great if we can find a thumb-sized piece that's gold to us, gold nuggets to us, because that's the only thing that will turn our paint juices black on the pottery. So we are lacking the white. And when I did have that barrel, I shared with the Costa potters, the early potters, Helen Cordero, Acarita Lewis, the early potters. I used to share with them. And so it really went down. Halfway down, I started to save it, so because I was sharing it with my sisters. And as I tell the public that every Christmas I would give my sisters a baggie full of the white slip, and that will last them a whole year. And now I'm doing it with my 2 other nieces. And I also had sold together a 25-pound flour sack for future years. And just a month ago, I started to open that bag. And so we are now running low on that white, and that's the only magical white slip. Some of the potters today, other potters from the Pueblo, do not have that white, so now they are researching or going towards other materials. We're again now taking short steps, buying clay or white supplies from stores and all, and using other kind of paint rather than the plant juices. There is a difference between the black paint that you buy from the store and the black paint created from the plants. So we really don't have much of the white. It'll be nice if we can find another white slip. And it's nice that other people will bring me white clay slip and I will try it out. And I would say the final test would be if it turns the paints black, I want that.